Key selections in our Hotspots reports in recent years have significantly outperformed national averages for price growth, both in the past year and over the past 5 years. Our analysis of the best capital growth performers amongst the house markets and unit markets across Australia shows that the vast majority of areas which have led on price growth, both in the past 12 months and over the longer term, are places we have recommended in our Hotspots reports ahead of the growth, most notably our National Top 10 Best Buys report. Now, the major data companies report that Australian property prices rose about 5% in the past 12 months. That's financial year 2025. News media and economists reacted to that with a conclusion that the property market is lukewarm, with only moderate price growth on offer. But of course, that's the generalised figure, one number to describe the entire nation. The reality is that across Australia there are many hundreds of markets which have exceeded that general figure, indeed recorded at least 4 times that level of capital growth in financial year 2025. And if you'd followed hotspotting in the past few years, you might have bought real estate in some of those places. So here's the hotspotting analysis of price growth performance in financial year 2025. There are over 4,500 locations across Australia with house markets and/or unit markets which have recorded 25 or more sales in the financial year. We filter out locations with small sales levels to avoid statistical aberrations and distorted median prices. Now, over 1,700 of those markets recorded median price growth of 10% or more. Now, almost 700 of them were in Queensland, close to 400 in Western Australia, 300 in South Australia, 250 in New South Wales, and smaller numbers in Victoria, the Northern Territory, Tasmania and the ACT. But many locations had median price growth above 20%. There were 572 markets across Australia with this exceptional level of performance. One of the standout features was that 60% of those 572 high growth markets had median prices below $700,000 after that year of outperformance. In other words, it's the more affordable areas that are dominating capital growth outcomes. Now, only 100 or so of the 572 high growth markets had median prices above $1 million. Now, 200 of those outperformers were unit markets, reflecting the rapidly improving capital growth outcomes with attached dwellings. And more than half of them were in Queensland, led by Greater Brisbane, the Gold Coast, Townsville and Cairns. Many of the locations featured in our Hotspots reports in the past 2 to 3 years have delivered exceptional price growth in financial year 2025. Several central Queensland regional cities, including Gladstone, Rockhampton, Bundaberg and Mackay, had numerous suburbs with growth above 20%, including some above 30%. Western Australian regional markets to excel included Geraldton, Mandurah and Bunbury, and in Geraldton, 7 suburbs had price rises above 20% in the past 12 months. The Playford local government area in Adelaide had 8 suburbs which grew by more than 20%, while the Gold Coast has 6 suburbs with the unit market exceeded 20%. But the real standout is Townsville, where 40 suburban markets, both units and houses, had price rises above 20% in the past year, and many locations grew more than 30%, including Aitken Vale, which increased 40%. Now, taking a longer term view, we also examined the locations with the best annual growth averages over 5 years. Now, there are 477 markets across Australia with 5-year averages of 15% per year or more, which means property values doubling in less than 5 years. And of those, there are 78 markets with 5-year capital growth averages of 20% or more. And a 20% annual growth average means values doubling in 3.5 years. Those 78 include 24 in Queensland, 21 in Western Australia, 20 in South Australia and 13 in New South Wales. 9 of the 20 in South Australia are in the down market local government area I mentioned before. That's Playford in Adelaide's north, which is a frequent pick in our Hotspots reports in recent years. The city of Playford has featured in our National Top 10 Cheapies with Prospects City Edition numerous times in the past 6 years, including in editions as far back as 2019 and 2020, as well as many editions of the Top 5 Adelaide Hotspots report throughout the past 6 years. 6 of the 21 in Western Australia were in the down market local government areas of Armidale and Kwinana in Perth, which we were recommending 3 to 4 years ago, but not anymore because the peak of that Perth market has definitely passed. The City of Greater Geraldton made our National Top 10 Best Buys report in 2023, as well as the National Top 10 Cheapies with Prospects Regional Edition in that year, and has been an outstanding performer on price growth since then. Gladstone made our National Top 10 Best Buys report in May 2022 and also featured in editions of that report published in 2023 and 2024, and it's been a regular inclusion in our Top 5 Regional Queensland Hotspots report over the past 3 years as well. Now, the key message is that affordable markets in the smaller capital cities, and in particular regional areas with growth credentials, have been the places which we have featured in our Hotspots reports the most. And these have been the outperformers of Australian real estate in the past 12 months and in the past 5 years.